All right, so what can I divide both 12 and 18 by? I can divide them both by 6, which will give me 2/3. My x's, are they going to be on top or on bottom? Why? There's more. How many more? And my y's, top or bottom? Because there's more. How many more? 4. There you go. Number 1 done. Questions? That is topic 1, simplifying. Topic number 2 is this type of problem, adding and subtracting. When you add and subtract, what do you have to have? A common denominator. Are these denominators the same? Not even close, but can I break one of them down? Which one? I can make the one on the right with an eye chart. So when I make an eye chart, I have 4 at the top and 5 at the bottom. 1 and 4, 2 and 2. How would I get 5? 1 and 4. So I can rewrite this denominator as x plus 1, x plus 4. Now, do my denominators look similar? They look similar. They're not the same. Which one has more stuff, the left or the right? The one on the right has more. What does it have? X plus 4. Then to make them look the same, my left one needs an x plus 4. And if I do that to the bottom, I do it to the top. So I'm going to go rewrite this so it's a little bit neater. So I have x times x plus 4 over my denominator plus 3 over x plus 1, x plus 4. Now that my denominators are the same, I can make one big fraction. What do I have to do with this x outside the parentheses? Distribute. So I'm going to have x squared plus 4x plus 3, because this says plus 3. Now what does it look like I can do? I can make another eye chart. What number is at the top? 3, and at the bottom is a 4. The only thing that gives me a 3 is 1 and 3. So when I go rewrite this, I will have x plus 1 times x plus 3 over the denominator I already had. And what do I notice can happen? My x plus 1s can cancel out. So my final answer would say x plus 3 over x plus 4. Can these x's cancel out? Why not? They're attached with a plus sign to something else. They cannot cancel. Because I took my quadratic and I made an eye chart. Okay. This is the first part of topic 2, adding and subtracting. It is the hardest part of topic 2. Today, we are going to do the rest of topic 2, but it will be a little bit easier. So at the top of your paper, you want to write topic 2. This is still operations of rational functions. Just to prepare you for pre-calc. So we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about multiplication and division. So first we're going to multiply. And the easiest, best, most amazing news, when you multiply is that you have no common denominators. So we don't care if our denominators match or not. We can multiply anything. So we're going to start out simple, like no letters, just simple 5th grade fractions. What is 4/5 times 2/3? What is 4/5 times 2/3? I mean, yes. What? Yikes. 8/15. Where did he get 8/15 from? Because when you multiply, you just multiply straight across. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 3 is 15. Problem number 2 would be 4/5 times 10/3. Do not put 40 over 15, because when we start getting into letters, you will get really big stuff that's going to be near impossible to figure out. When you multiply fractions, you can do something called cross simplify. You can simplify things up and down, and you can simplify things diagonally. You cannot simplify side by side. It's like I can't simplify 4 and 10. Those are side by side, okay? I can simplify 5 and 10 because they are diagonal. What can I divide both 5 and 10 by? So 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So now I can multiply straight across. 4 times 2 is 8, and 1 times 3 is 3. So you really are going to have to know how to cross simplify to be successful in these problems, okay? So let's go to rationals now. So my first example, and if you are not nice and neat, this is going to be a hot mess. So you have to keep your work nice and neat. 8v plus 40 divided by 8 times 9v over v plus 5. And don't you dare use an x for multiplication. We don't do that in high school. Because x is a letter. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put parentheses around my v plus 5 because I want to make sure it stays together, okay? The next thing I can see is that 8v plus 40 has a GCF. What can I take out of 8v plus 40? So I'm going to rewrite this as an 8 parentheses v plus 5. So I'm going to rewrite my problem just so it's nice and neat. 8v plus 5 divided by 8 times 9v over v plus 5. I can simplify up and down, and I can simplify diagonally. What's one thing I can simplify? The v plus 5 and v plus 5 can simplify. These equal 1. V plus 5 divided by v plus 5 equals 1. Is there anything else I can simplify? 8 divided by 8 equals 1. So what's the only thing that's left? 9v. Let's go do another one, and then we're going to move to division. 1 over k minus 2 times k squared plus 2k minus 8 all over 3k. What's the first thing you think you need to do? Make an eye chart. So on your paper, make me an eye chart. The -8 is at the top and the 2 is at the bottom. When I make an eye chart, I'm going to use a -2 and a +4. So I rewrite my problem nice and neat. And I look for things to simplify, up and down or diagonal. What can I simplify? Say k-2s can simplify. Can these k's right here simplify? No, one of them's attached with a plus sign. So I have 1 times k plus 4, which would just be k plus 4, over 1 times 3k, which would just be 3k. Questions? We are now going to do division. Same rule applies. No common denominator needed. Okay? So let's start off with simple numbers. If I have 4/5 divided by 2/3. Does anybody know how to divide fractions? You do have to flip one. It is called KCF. You are going to keep the first fraction, change the second, or change the symbol, and flip the last fraction. So I'm going to keep my first fraction, 4/5, change from division to multiplication, and flip my last fraction. So instead of 2/3, it is now 3/2. And now we're back to multiplication. So I can cross simplify. What can I simplify? 2 and 4. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So when I multiply straight across, 2 times 3 is 6, and 5 times 1 is 5. We're going to go do 2 quick ones with rationals. 1 over n plus 4 divided by n plus 5 over 5n plus 20. Since this is a division problem, I'm going to keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep my 1 over n plus 4. Change division to multiplication and flip my second fraction. I like to make sure I have parentheses so I know that it stays together. What can I simplify first in this problem? There's a GCF. 5n plus 20 has a GCF of 5, which would give me n plus 4. So if I needed to rewrite this nice and neat, I would do it quickly. And what do I notice now happens? I can cancel out my n plus 4s. So when I multiply straight across, 1 times 5 is 5. And then 1 times n plus 5 would just be n plus 5. Can my 5s cancel? No. Okay. All right, very last one. 10x to the 4th over 2x plus 8 divided by 6x to the 9th over 3x plus 12. So first thing I do is keep, change, flip. So I have 10x to the 4th over 2x plus 8 times 3x plus 12 over 6x to the 9th. This problem can get very messy because there are a lot of things happening here. Where would we like to start? One person, name somewhere we can start. GCF where? 3x plus 12, what's my GCF? So this will have a 3x plus 4. Can I have a GCF somewhere else? Yes. 2x plus 8 has a GCF of 2 with an x plus 4. So I'm going to rewrite real quick just so I can keep it neat. What is something I notice can happen? Okay, my x plus 4s can cancel out. What else can I do? What do I have right here? 10 divided by 2. What can I simplify both of those by? 2. So my 10 becomes a 5 and my 2 becomes a 1. Very good. What about 3 and 6? What can that simplify down to? I can divide them both by 3. So that would be a 1 and this would be a 2. So if I go straight across, I have 5 times 1 is 5, x to the 4th over 2, x to the 9th. This is not finished. Why is it not finished? I can get rid of some of my x's. This is like your warm-up where we simplified. So where will my x's be, top or bottom? Bottom, how many more? 5, very good. So on your desk today is multiplication and division. They are numbered. Keep your paper nice and neat so when I come around I can check answers. There is no reason for anybody to be on a tablet. You're at home, Unit 13, Topic 2, Worksheet number 2. This is also what your second homework is over. So you now know how to do all the homework that is due tomorrow at midnight.